Hi everyone, welcome to Biology Easy Learning Classroom. This video is all about soil and its types. First of all, we must know what is soil. Soil is a dynamic, three-dimensional substance that covers some of the world's land surface. It varies from place to place in response to 5 factors that form it. What are those 5 factors which are responsible for the formation of the different types of the soil on earth? The first factor is the climate, second one is the topography, third one is organisms, fourth one is the parent rock, and fifth one is time. Soils developed since the last glacier moved across the region and largely in response to the parent rock and topography. Most soils are acidic in nature and have less ability to hold and exchange nutrients for plants. Our native plants are evolved in this system only and they have well adapted to these native soils. However, in order to increase the productivity of our food and landscape plants, from time to time we have to amend our soils by adding organic matter, lime or fertilizers. Formation of the soil. Soil is the loose material which forms the thin surface of the earth. Over time, rain, wind and other weather events cause small particles to break loose from the larger rocks. These particles then combine with decaying plant and animal parts, otherwise called as the humus, to form the soil. Soil does not form in a year, but it takes millions of years for its formation. Soil can be simply defined as a mixture of small rock particles and organic materials, otherwise called as the humus, which develop on the earth's surface and support growth of the plants. This slide shows the importance of the soil. Soil provides anchorage for roots of plants and it holds water and nutrients for the plants. Soil acts as the home for millions of the or billions of microorganisms and small soil animals such as earthworms and termites, which can fix nitrogen and decompose organic matter. Soil plays a vital role in the Earth's ecosystem. The main ecological functions of the soil include nutrient cycling, carbon storage and turnover, water maintenance, soil structure arrangement, regulation of the diversity of plants and animals, biotic regulation, buffering, and the transformation of potentially harmful elements and compounds such as heavy metals, pesticides, etc. All agricultural production is dependent on the quality of the soil. It forms the basis for the cultivation of various crops and plants consisting of fruits and vegetables which are necessary for the survival of the human life. Without soil, human life would be very difficult. As already seen, our earth is the combination of many types of the soil. The uppermost layer of crust is the formation of various types of soil, which is the support strength of our entire planet's greenery. Types of the soil are based on their physiography, such as hill, plateaus, coastal lines, rivers, etc. The soil of the place also depends on the factors like climate, parent rocks, and vegetative cover of the respective places. As our country heavily depends on agriculture and its allied industry, it is important to study the soils, their nature and distribution for better administration. In India, soil had been classified from the ancient period itself, even though it was not as detailed as the modern classification. In the ancient period, the classification was based on only two things: whether the soil is fertile or sterile. Thus, the classification were Urvara. Urvara means the fertile soil, and Usara. Usara means sterile soil. In the modern period, when men started to know about the various characteristics of the soil, they began to classify soil on the basis of the texture, color, moisture, etc. When the Soil Survey of India was established in 1956, they studied soils of India and their characteristics. The National Bureau of Soil Survey and the Land Use Planning, an institute under the control of Indian Council of Agricultural Research, did a lot of studies on Indian soil and classified them into 8 different types. They are alluvial soil, black or regular soil, red and yellow soil, laterite soil, arid and desert soil, saline and alkaline soil, peaty and marshy soil, forest and mountain soil. The first type of soil is called as alluvial soil. It is seen in the river beds. In Tamil, it is called as Karambai Mann. It is the most fertile soil of all the types. Alluvial soils are formed by the deposition of silt by the rivers. It is porous and loamy, light grey to ash grey in color. It occupies 15 lakh square kilometer area in India and contributes greatly in agricultural development. It is most fertile as it is rich in minerals such as lime, potassium, magnesium, but deficient in nitrogen and phosphoric acid. The supported crops are paddy, wheat, maize, pulses, oilseeds, sugarcane, banana, and turmeric. Basically, it is found along river valleys and coastal plains of Tamil Nadu. Next comes black soil. Black soil is formed by the weathering of igneous rocks. It is also called regular soil. This is developed over the Deccan lava granite region under semi-arid conditions. It is fine textured and clayey in nature. It has high water retaining capacity. It swells and will become sticky when wet and shrink when dried. Self-blowing is a characteristic of black soil as it develops wide cracks when dried. The main minerals found in this soil are calcium, magnesium, carbonates, potash and lime. It is poor in phosphoric acid, nitrogen and organic matter. As cotton grows well in it, it is also called black cotton soil. The major crops cultivated in it are cotton, sorghum, kambu, jowar and fodder crops. It is one of the important types of soil found in Tamil Nadu as it occupies 12% of total soils. It is distributed across the districts of Coimbatore, Madurai, Virudhunagar, Tirunelveli and Thoothukudi. Next comes red soil. Red soils are generally derived from the weathering of ancient crystalline and metamorphic rock. They are named after their rich red color, which is due to their high iron content in the form of ferric oxide. It can also vary from reddish brown to reddish yellow. It's seen mainly in low rainfall area. It has porous and friable structure. This type of soils are deficient in lime, phosphate, manganese, nitrogen, humus and potash. They are slightly acidic and they do not contain moisture, but when fertilizers are added, soil becomes productive. Texture is sandy to clay and loamy. In places where irrigation facilities are available, the crops cultivated are wheat, cotton, pulses, tobacco, millets, oilseeds, potato, maize, groundnut and orchards. Next comes laterite soil. Laterite soil, it is derived from the Latin word later, which means brick. This develops in areas where the temperature is high and having high rainfall. It is formed by the process of intense leaching. It becomes so soft when wet and so hard when dried. As the rain washes away the lime and silica, the soil is left with iron oxide and aluminum compound. Its humus content is removed quickly by bacteria that thrive well in high temperature. As a result, these are poor in organic matter, nitrogen, phosphate and calcium. Hence, it is not suitable for agriculture. But by using manures and fertilizers, the cultivation can be made even in this soil. It supports paddy, ginger, pepper, cashew and plantains. Also, it is suitable for cultivation of rubber, tea and coffee plants. It is widely used to cut bricks for construction also. It found in some parts of the Kanchipuram, Tiruvallur and Tanjavur districts of Tamil Nadu. It is also seen in the mountainous regions in the Nilgiris. Next comes arid soil. It's otherwise called as Manavari Man. This type of soil seen under arid and semi-arid conditions. The soils are deposited mainly by wind activities. Sandy in nature and the color is red to brown. It has high salt content. The soil is alkaline in nature as there is no rainfall to wash soluble salts. Lack of moisture and humus is seen in this soil. The soils are deficient in nitrogen and humus. The phosphate and iron content is normal. They are mineral rich soils, but the main limitation is the lack of water. Concur, it is otherwise called as impure calcium carbonate content, is high, which restricts the infiltration of the water. When irrigation is made available, then the soil moisture is readily available for a sustainable plant growth. They give high agricultural returns if irrigated properly. The soils are mainly used for the cultivation of bajra, fodder, pulses and less water requiring crops. Next comes saline soil. This type of soil is called as Usara soils according to the ancient classification of the soil. Usara means infertile. This type of soil contains a large proportion of sodium, potassium and magnesium. As a result, they are infertile and do not support any vegetative growth. Also, it lacks nitrogen and calcium. Because of poor drainage and dry climate, they have more salts. Its nature ranges from sandy to loamy. Seawater intrusion in deltas promotes saline soils. Even in the area where intensive agricultural using intensive irrigation occurs, saline soil is formed due to capillary action that brings salts to the top. To solve the problem of salinity, the farmers are advised to use gypsum in this type of soil. Saline soils in Tamil Nadu are confined to the Coromandel coast. Vedaranyam has a pocket of saline soil. However, the tsunami waves on December 26, 2004 brought a lot of sand and deposited it all along the east coast of Tamil Nadu and made the coastal areas unsuitable for cultivation to a considerable extent. In coastal areas, coconut trees are found in plenty in these soils. Cultivating salt-resistant crops like barley, cotton, sugar, beet, asparagus, oats, alfalfa, rice, malai murungai, cashew, and other leguminous crops can help in reclaiming these soils. Next comes peaty or marshy soil. Peat soils are the most dominant type of the organic soils developed through centuries under wetland conditions by the accumulation of partially decomposed and undecomposed plant residues. They are found in the areas of heavy rainfall and high humidity where there is a good growth of vegetation. The soils are characterized by a rich humus and organic content. These soils are normally heavy and black in color. There is a presence of iron and 10 to 40% of the organic matter. The organic matter in these soils may go even up to 40 to 50%. The soils are generally acidic in nature, but in many places they are alkaline also. These are generally submerged during the rainy season, so this type of soils can be utilized for the cultivation of rice. The last type of soil according to this classification is the forest or mountain soil. Forest soils are formed in the forest areas where sufficient rainfall is available. These are found in the forest areas of mountain regions. The soils vary in structure and texture depending on the mountain environment where they are formed. They are loamy and silty on valley sides and coarse grained in the upper slopes. Their color is generally dark brown. The soils found in the lower valleys are fertile and rich in organic content. Owing to sharp differences of hill slopes and climates, the soils may differ greatly even when in proximity. Also, the soils exist in thin layers because of their development on the mountain slopes. The soils are poor in potash, phosphorus and lime. Soil erosion is a major problem in these areas. The slopes are used for horticulture and plantations crops like tea, coffee, spices, apple, peach, etc. Rice and wheat are grown in valleys. Potatoes are grown in mostly in all areas. Thank you for watching this video.